Let's talk about not the iPhone 8 this time, but the iPhone 7s. So about 3 weeks ago, some reports have started to appear suggesting that Apple will be in fact dropping all iPhone 8 plans for 2017 and instead introducing an iPhone 7s. So an iPhone 7s would basically the exact same design as the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 6s and the iPhone 6, and with just some minor internal changes, which I'll be covering in this video. Now, I personally didn't believe those iPhone 7s rumors to be true, just because we've had so many sources pointing towards a major iPhone redesign in 2017, so the iPhone 8. And speaking of the iPhone 8, I've actually done 2 really in-depth videos on all the leaks and rumors we currently have on that major iPhone 8 redesign, the iPhone 8. I've also done a top 10 leaks and rumors video, so if you want to see any of those videos, all of them are linked in the description box down below. So hey everyone, welcome to the Enough Tech. I'm Daniel, and welcome to my leaks and rumors series. And in this episode, I'll be focusing on all the leaks and rumors in terms of the iPhone 7s and what's actually going to happen next year. So is it going to be an iPhone 7s or is it going to be an iPhone 8? Or maybe it's actually going to be both. So yeah, enjoy. So just by judging by the naming scheme, an iPhone 7s would actually make way more sense than an iPhone 8 because, well, at the moment we have the iPhone 7. However, the iPhone 7 was supposed to be a big redesign, which never ended happening. The iPhone 7 basically had the exact same design as the iPhone 6s, which basically had the exact same design as the iPhone 6, which was released back in 2014. And the fact that the iPhone hasn't received a major redesign since, well, the iPhone 6, this is the reason why we are all expecting a big redesign next year in 2017. And besides this, another big reason is actually the fact that the iPhone's actually turning 10, so 10 years next year in 2017. And besides this, we've had so many sources and so many, actually even Apple patents suggesting that a major redesign, a new completely reinvented, so to say, iPhone is coming soon. So we've had some Apple patents showing an iPhone with no home button at all, instead a home button and the Touch ID sensor built into the display. So this would basically make the iPhone 8 look something like this. This is the concept that I've made for a thumbnail. If the home button is going to be included in the display panel, then the bezels would be really thin and they would actually allow this design. And besides this, besides all these Apple patents, we've also had some more really credible sources pointing towards a major iPhone 8 redesign next year. So the biggest one was actually Catcher Technology. So Catcher Technology, they're basically the manufacturer of the aluminum bodies for the iPhones, and they did confirm that a major iPhone redesign is coming next year in 2017, and we've had some even more sources such as Apple's own 100 million OLED display panel order from Samsung. So everything is pretty much pointing towards a major iPhone 8 redesign next year. Okay, so if all rumors, all sources, and all the leaks are pointing towards this major iPhone 8 redesign in 2017, then what's the deal with the iPhone 7s? So is it going to be an iPhone 7s after all? How did all the iPhone 7s rumors actually start? Well, all the iPhone 7s rumors basically started on December the 7th when a Japanese blog called Mac Otakara, hopefully I did pronounce that correctly, so Mac Otakara, they were basically the ones, in case you don't know, they are the ones that posted first about a jet black iPhone 7 and also about the fact that the iPhone 7 won't actually come with a headphone jack. So they were the first ones to actually post about those two things, and they were right about both of them. So they seem to be a pretty credible source. And now they said that they have some pretty reliable sources pointing towards an iPhone 7s and an iPhone 7s Plus in 2017, and then an iPhone 8, so that major iPhone 8 redesign just in 2018. So yeah, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? And if that's the case, then the iPhone 7s would basically have the exact same design as the iPhone 7. So no design changes at all, no thinner bezels, and also no Force Touch home button. I mean, no Force Touch home button built right into the display assembly. The Force Touch home button that's on the iPhone 7, that would obviously still be there. Now, apparently there is going to be one design change in terms of the iPhone 7. So presumably, according to Mac Otakara, the iPhone 7s is going to come in 6 colors instead of 5. So we'll have it in silver, gold, rose gold, we'll have it in black, jet black, and also a new 6th color, which is going to be red. Now, I do think that a red iPhone 7s would actually look pretty good. I mean, it would be really similar to the iPod Touch 6th generation. So this is how it will most likely look like, really similar or maybe even identical to the red iPod Touch 6th generation. And speaking of the iPod Touch 6th generation, I've actually done a while ago a video on that one as well. So I've actually had the blue model and that simply looked amazing. And yeah, I do think that a blue iPhone 7s would also look incredible. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Would you prefer a red iPhone 7s or a blue iPhone 7s? Unfortunately, we haven't had any reports pointing towards a blue iPhone 7s. However, maybe one day this will happen, because just take a look at this iPod Touch in blue, it simply looks incredible. Okay, so besides this new red color, what other changes would the iPhone 7s come with? So in terms of the performance, we're going to get the Apple A11 processor. So I'm not going to go into too much detail in terms of the Apple A11 chip, because I've already covered this in my previous Leaks and Rumors episodes. But yeah, this would be one of the changes. This is a smaller chip based on a smaller 10nm processor, so it's more power efficient. There's also more room inside the phone for a possible larger battery, and yeah, better performance, more power efficient. And in terms of the RAM, we're also going to get 3 GB of RAM instead of 2. So 3 GB of RAM on both the iPhone 7s and on the iPhone 7s Plus. At the moment, we only have 3 GB on the iPhone 7 Plus. Now, in terms of the camera, the only detail that we currently know about, quite a lot of sources have talked about this actually. So the iPhone 7s Plus or the iPhone 8 Plus is actually going to have optical image stabilization on both the telephoto lens and on the wide-angle lens. So at the moment on the iPhone 7 Plus, we only have optical image stabilization on the main lens, so on the wide-angle lens. On the iPhone 7s Plus, we would have it on both lenses, which means that the zoom lens would actually be as good as the main one in low light. And that's pretty much it in terms of all the changes in terms of the iPhone 7s. So a new color, performance improvements, camera improvements, and that's pretty much it. So no wireless charging, by the way. This would be unique to the iPhone 8 that might be coming in 2018 or even 2017, which I'll be covering in a second. All iPhone S models have actually had a special feature. So with the iPhone 3GS, that special feature was autofocus and obviously speed. Then with the iPhone 4S, that special feature was Siri. With the iPhone 5S, that special feature was Touch ID. With the iPhone 6S, it was Force Touch. And with the iPhone 7S, we don't actually know if there's actually going to be a special feature or not. It might just be a new color, performance, and camera improvements, and that's it. Now, as I said before, those iPhone 7s rumors that I've just talked about, they were rumored about 3 weeks ago, and I haven't actually made a video on the iPhone 7s until now, because, well, I didn't believe those iPhone 7s rumors to be true. I believe that the iPhone 8 with that major redesign was coming next year, especially because the iPhone 8 is turning 10 years next year, and also because of those sources, that so many sources and so many rumors pointing towards that iPhone 8 redesign, and just one single source pointing towards an iPhone 7s. So at the moment, at this time, an iPhone 8 actually seems way more likely next year than an iPhone 7s. However, the reason why I've decided to make this video after all was actually this. So earlier this week, a Chinese tech blog called CN Beta actually posted something really interesting regarding the iPhone 7s. So they actually posted a logic board schematic showing 3 different logic boards or motherboard units. So 2 of them are apparently for the iPhone 7s and for the iPhone 7s Plus, and the other one is supposedly for a third completely redesigned iPhone. So if this is actually true, it means that both the iPhone 7s and the iPhone 8 are actually coming in 2017. And this actually makes a lot of sense because, as I said before in my previous Leaks and Rumors episode, we were going to have in 2017 3 different iPhone 8 models: the iPhone 8, the iPhone 8 Plus, and the iPhone 8 Pro. And now if the iPhone 7s is coming next year and the iPhone 8, then we're going to have the iPhone 7s, the iPhone 7s Plus, and the iPhone 8. So the iPhone 8 Pro with that major new redesign is actually going to be the iPhone 8. So the naming scheme would actually make a lot more sense than what we had before with the iPhone 8, 8 Plus, and 8 Pro. Also, in that case, the iPhone 8 is going to be that premium iPhone model, so it's going to be more expensive than the iPhone 7s and the iPhone 7s Plus. Now, one more thing, that Chinese blog, so CN Beta, also leaked the code names, so the actual internal numbers for the next generation iPhone. So for the iPhone 7 was internally called by Apple D10. No idea why it was called D10, but the iPhone 7 was D10. And apparently next year's iPhone are called D20, D21, and D22. So D22 would be that major iPhone redesign, the iPhone 8. Now here's something really interesting. So apparently the internal code name, so not the number, the name, for the D22 model is actually Ferrari. So Ferrari is the code name for the D22 model, which is the iPhone 8. Having an upcoming iPhone model called Ferrari, well, I think this means that the iPhone 8 is definitely going to come with a pretty significant redesign. And yeah, it seems that this is actually happening next year in 2017 among the iPhone 7s and the iPhone 7s Plus as well. Now remember when I showed you that schematic, that logic board schematic, well, I haven't actually told you everything about it. So actually the one on the right, that's the only one for the iPhone 7s. So this is for the iPhone 7s and also for the 7s Plus. The one for the 7s Plus is actually a scaled up model, and then the other 2 are actually both for the iPhone 8. So yeah, in that case, the iPhone 8 would come with 2 logic boards, and they would be linked by a connection cable. I'm really not sure why Apple would do this, 2 separate logic boards, which are linked by a connection cable, instead of just 1 logic board. But yeah, it definitely seems that those logic boards definitely belong to a completely different iPhone. So yeah, the inside is also going to be completely different than on the previous iPhone model, so not just the external looks. And there's also going to be a few more changes. So apparently the SIM card is going to be moved from the right side to the top, so just like we had on older iPhone models and also like we have on the iPads. Now, besides all this, wireless charging has been leaked again. So this time it's being confirmed by some Asian Apple supply sources. So wireless charging, a brand new design with curved edges, glass on the front and the back with a metal rim surrounding them, maybe even a stainless steel rim, not an aluminum one, a Force Touch home button that's also a Touch ID sensor built into the display assembly itself, and also an OLED display. So the iPhone 8 seems like a pretty awesome phone up until this point. And yeah, the 2017 iPhone lineup is looking even more plausible now. So an iPhone 7s, 7s Plus, and an iPhone maybe 7s Pro, most likely the iPhone 8, the premium redesigned model. Now there are a few more things that I want to talk about when it comes to the iPhone 8. So a few more iPhone 8 leaks have emerged. So the first one is actually coming, this is a pretty new leak. So this one was posted this week, and this one comes from a Japanese company called Canon Toki. So yeah, pretty weird name, Canon Toki. So this is a company that actually manufactures the machines that manufacture the OLED display panels. So they don't make the OLED displays, they just make the machines that eventually make the OLED displays. Now, as of recently, they've actually upgraded their equipment, and according to Bloomberg, Canon Toki is actually the world's leader when it comes to high-quality OLED panel manufacturing. And also according to Bloomberg, it seems that Apple will actually use Canon Toki's machines to make their own OLED panels in 2017 for the iPhone 8. Yeah, because just the iPhone 8 is going to have an OLED panel, the iPhone 7s and the iPhone 7s Plus will still have an LCD panel just like the iPhone 7. Now here's the thing, Canon Toki, as I said before, they don't make OLED panels, they just make the machines that eventually make OLED panels. And just take a guess at how many machines Canon Toki actually makes each year. So you're probably thinking at, I don't know, 500, 1500 or so. No, they're actually making just 10, so just 10 OLED manufacturing machines each year. And can you guess how much they cost? I would personally say like 5 million, 10 million, 50 million, but no, they're actually 10 billion each. Yeah, they're crazy expensive. And it's not just that, you actually have to sign up on a list and then wait up to 2 years and pay 10 billion to get your machines. So getting one is pretty much impossible. So yeah, Samsung does have a few machines, but apparently not enough. LG has even less than that. And Apple is apparently signed up on that list. Now for the iPhone 8, Apple has already ordered 100 million display panels from Samsung. However, they're also thinking about using LG and maybe even Sharp. And not even if Apple teams up with Samsung, LG and Sharp to produce OLED panels for the iPhone 8, they won't be able to produce enough displays for all iPhone 8 and 7s models. That's basically the reason why Apple will only have OLED panels in the iPhone 8 because of the production constraints. I'm also guessing that the stock for the iPhone 8 would be pretty limited. Now this will be most likely fixed a few months after launch, and then in 2018 probably completely, as if Apple gets their own OLED manufacturing machines and they stop relying on Samsung, LG and Sharp, because yeah, Samsung, they do have to produce their own OLED displays for their S8 lineup. And by the way, in case you want to know more about the Samsung Galaxy S8, I've also done a video, a leaks and rumors video on the Samsung Galaxy S8 as well. And finally, I just wanted to mention one more iPhone 8 leak. So this is a pretty big one. This one was actually posted 2 days ago. So this is the most recent iPhone 8 leak I have. And this one was also posted by the tech blog Mac Otakara Japan. And according to them, Apple is going to introduce one more iPhone model next year. So this is going to be apparently a 5-inch iPhone 8 model, a 5-inch iPhone model that's going to come with a dual camera module, just like on the iPhone 7s Plus and on the iPhone 7 Plus. The only difference would be that that dual camera module will actually be vertical instead of horizontal. So it would look much better in landscape actually, but yeah, it's most likely vertical because of how the components are organized inside. This one would presumably have the same exact specs and looks as the iPhone 7s, so in that case we would actually have 3 iPhone 7s models and 1 iPhone 8 model. I don't see 4 iPhones coming next year, to be honest. And if this rumor is actually true, I do believe this to be the iPhone 7s. And then, so this would be the iPhone 7s and then the iPhone 7s Plus, pretty much the same thing, just with a larger display. And then the iPhone 8 with that pretty big major redesign. Apple has done experiments with multiple iPhone models in the past, so even with the iPhone 7, we were expecting to see the iPhone 7, the 7 Plus, and the 7 Pro. The 7 Pro was the one with that smart connector and a dual camera module, which in the end it was the iPhone 7 Plus, but that dual camera module was there and the smart connector wasn't there in the end. Yeah, the iPhone 7 Plus with no dual camera module was in the end removed. So in my opinion, this is why we're seeing so many reports of so many different iPhone 8 models, just because Apple's testing different configurations, different options for the 2017 iPhones. But yeah, this was pretty much everything in terms of the iPhone 7s, so all the leaks and rumors in terms of the iPhone 7s. Let me know in the comments, by the way, if you would be picking up an iPhone 7s or an iPhone 8 next year, especially if the iPhone 8 is going to be much more expensive than the iPhone 7s, because at the moment the most expensive iPhone that you can get is the £920 iPhone 7 Plus 128 gigabytes. So yeah, that's pretty expensive, especially in the UK because of Brexit currency adjustments. Yeah, the baseline iPhone 8 model is most likely going to start from that exact price point. If you want to see more videos like this one, then feel free to subscribe, and also check out my iPhone 8 leaks and rumors part 1, part 2, my top 10 iPhone 8 leaks and rumors, and also my Samsung Galaxy S8 full leaks and rumors. So if you want to see more episodes like this one, then I've left all those videos linked in the description box down below. Also, if you have enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a huge like to let me know. It took quite a while to make, so every single feedback is really appreciated. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at ZenofTech, and you can ask me any tech related questions there as well. And also let me know in the comments if you're epic enough to make it to the end of this pretty long video. Don't forget to enable notifications on my channel on web, desktop and mobile. You can do that by simply clicking on that bell icon next to my channel, and in that way you'll be notified as soon as I upload a brand new epic video. But yeah, this was pretty much it for this video, so huge thanks to every single one of you that made it to the end of this video. And yeah, I'm Daniel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. ZenofTech, signing out. Cheers.